We're going to be having a look at this pen. It was sent to me by a TaG. I'm assuming TaG is how you pronounce it. And this is part of their Submarine collection. Now, a while ago, I reviewed their Submarine fountain pen and rollerball. They have now released, or are releasing through Kickstarter, a ballpoint. And I have a prototype, which I am to return, with the request to review it and maybe do some social media posts. However, I'm not paid to do that, just so you understand. So we're going to go over the parts of this pen. It is a ballpoint, so I always feel I have a little bit less to say than about a fountain pen. I'm going to show you the parts. There is some pretty cool design that went into this, and bear in mind it's a prototype, so some things will look a little bit different on the final product, but it's a bit of fun ballpoint to fiddle around with. So a kind thank you to TaG for lending this to me. I appreciate it. Let's have a look at the parts. I will do a writing sample, and then I will tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Let's get started. Okay, here we go with the TaG Submarine ballpoint. I'll show you the box, then I'll take out the pen so you can actually see that, and I'll talk a little bit about it. So we have quite a nice cardboard box. We have a little booklet which gives you some information about the pen, a little pen condom, and then there is the stand, which is meant to represent sonar. So it's a submarine themed pen, so like waves created in the water by sonar. There's also in the box one more refill. This is a Schmidt softline. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me just quickly put these pieces together and I'll show you the pen. So here we have the actual ballpoint. I'll zoom in so you can actually see it. We have that stand, and then we have this pen next to a Pilot Metropolitan for size. So I'll talk a little bit about it, and then I will do I'll show you the parts and do a writing sample. So it has the pen is meant to have the silhouette of a submarine. They have used upgraded materials and surfaces for more writing comfort. It's an aluminum alloy pen, so it's quite light. There is a gift set with that integrated pen stand that I will show you in just a second. You have bronze and black versions. This is the bronze. And then you have that stand. Like I said, it's sonar waves. This is made of, I don't know if it's pronounced Lito or Leto, but it's a material that is very sustainable. And they make these in Taiwan, where they make the pens as well. Okay, so just so you know, the pen, it just fits in that stand straight in, very easy. So quite nice. I'm just going to take that stand out of the way so we have some space to work with, and then let's look at some features. Just need a sip of tea, sorry. Okay, so we have that submarine profile was the same for their fountain pen and rollerball, which I quite enjoy. You have those nice grooves in it, which I think is quite neat. This, of course, is the ballpoint, so we have the refill tip there. And then we have, as I said, those grooves. We have the nice clip, and I quite like the shape of that clip. I think it looks cool. And then here at the bottom it says TaG for the brand. And then we have this turbine shaped turning knob, which I quite enjoyed on the other pens. On the other pens though, especially the rollerball and such, I mean, you can use it to refill rollerball and fountain pen, because there's a converter in both, so even the rollerball takes fountain pen ink, which I think is really cool. Here it really serves a function, because as you twist that turbine, the tip comes out, right? So that's how you actually operate it. You twist it again and the tip should slide in. As you can see, it's a little bit sticky. This is an issue with the prototype, so bear in mind some of the features on this, like say the shininess of the turbine, are meant to change on the final product. Okay, let's look under the hood for just a second. So you can unscrew the end and this section comes off. There is a spring, a little coil I'll try not to lose. And then there is the refill, which obviously grabs nicely into that turbine bit on the end. Just going to put that coil back on and then carefully put this back on. So that's pretty much it. And then we operate that turbine, and again we get the tip to retract. It again should retract fully on the final product. Question then, how does it write? Let's have a look. This is the Ballpoint. It's just that Schmidt refill, right? So what I found very comfortable about this pen is a couple things. It's really nicely balanced. Although there's a lot of metal with that aluminum alloy, it doesn't feel overly heavy, so it's quite pleasant to use. It feels balanced as you write with it. I like the section that it tapers. You can hold it as low as you like for what's comfortable for you. That's number one. The second thing is, it's a very pleasant writer. These Schmidt refills, some very fast writing, which you see it keeps up very nicely. The Schmidt is very, very smooth, so it's a really pleasant writer, and I've really been enjoying fiddling with it, although I'm not really a ballpoint person. This is very, very comfortable to write with. Just gave it a smell, sorry. It doesn't have that super oily smell that some ballpoint refills do, so that's quite nice. It also doesn't smear too much. It does a little bit, but it's not, I've seen worse, where you have that sort of really thick, viscous liquid that comes out, that kind of comes out in little blobs. This doesn't seem to do that, so that's really nice. It's a ballpoint, right? So a little bit of pressure makes the line a bit wider, but there is a real physical limit to how wide you can get that line. It's not a flex nib, but you could get some line variation out if you wanted to. Upside down writing is obviously not an issue, because I know someone's going to be, oh, it's upside down writing. That was hilarious. Here's what we have. So that's it. I think we should talk about some likes and dislikes. What do I like? What do I not like about this TaG Submarine ballpoint? I think there's quite a lot to be liked. I think the shape is cool, and although I'm not a submarine guy, you know, there are submarine people I don't take it or leave it, submarines, but I do think it is a cool design, and I do really like the way they created that turning knob to look like the turbine. Cool eye for detail. I also find it a very comfortable pen. I found the fountain pen and rollerball is quite comfortable. Likewise, I find this ballpoint quite comfortable. I also like that you can put two different types of refills in, so that you can do what you may already have lying around, or what you can purchase, or what you like. I don't consider myself to be really a ballpoint guy, so this is going really great. I'm not a submarine guy, I'm not a ballpoint guy, but having said all this, I don't know if I have a preference for a specific refill, is what I'm trying to get at. Still, I think it's nice, it's comfortable. I like the refill. It is very smooth, so it is a very pleasant writer. Sometimes with ballpoints I find they can be a little scratchy as you write with them. This is very smooth writer, so I do really appreciate that. And I do like the idea of a set with a stand, so you can put it on a stand on your desk if you choose to do so. I mentioned the retraction issue of the refill in the previously. Bear in mind they are aware of it, and that apparently was only an issue for this prototype, and the final product will not have that issue. There is a spring inside. I have no doubt that they will fix that, so don't be detracted by that. Final thing to mention is price. I wasn't really given a price and I couldn't find it, and as I was shooting this, the Kickstarter was not online. I did find a website that was offering these for 139 euros, but also said they were out of stock, so I don't know if that's going to be the retail price. If that is the price, that is certainly steep for a ballpoint without any real precious metals on it. I do think that's a fairly high price, but I don't want to say, and that's too high, because I don't know if that's even the final price. They could just be random. So don't take that too seriously. Take it with a salt factory, as we would say. Okay, that's it. It is very pleasant. It is a cool design. I do quite like it. I hope this was useful. I don't really have any strong negatives. I found it to be a really pleasant, comfortable pen. So there's that. Thank you to TaG for lending me one. I appreciate it, especially given it's a prototype, so it'll come back to you straight away. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye.